Hello, everybody. It's Sophia Mona Lisa of the Golden Ray Center and the Roseville Mystery School. And so this is an announcement. It won't be a quick one. It is an announcement, though, and I'm entitling this announcement, What's New, Pussycat? And as I'm saying that, I'm hearing Tom Jones singing his famous song. I'm seeing him on stage, swiveling those hips, wanting to know what's new, Pussycat. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And the reason why I've chosen this title is because of the fact that we are stepping onto this brand new 19-month Venus synodic cycle, which is the Leo divine royalty goddess. And of course, we know that in astrology, Leo is represented by the lion. So I just thought it would be a fun way to introduce you to all of the updates that I've made this week to my website related to this new Venus synodic cycle, where you can find that information. And of course, because the Venus synodic cycle has become an integral foundational piece for the work that we're doing with the Galactic New Earth Project, all of the updates that I've made on my website related to that. So I'm going to take a few moments to kind of navigate you through it so that if it is of interest to you, if it resonates with you, you'll know where to go on my website to find what you're looking for. So let's just take a moment right now to pop over to the website. So here we are at my website, the Golden Ray Center, and you can see up here that the URL is goldenraycenter.com. And the areas of the website that I've updated that I'm going to bring into your awareness are, of course, the Galactic New Earth Project. First, I'm going to bring you into your awareness to what I've updated for the Roseville Mystery School. So first of all, you're going to see that under the Sacred Feminine, I have a whole new page, called the Leo Goddess Journey. We'll get to that in a minute. But let me show you what's new on the Sacred Feminine page. There's so much valuable information here that is really worth taking your time to go and look through. So on this page, what I do is I present an explanation that helps you understand the Venus synodic cycle. And as you may recall from past presentations that I've done, the Venus synodic cycle has historically been aligned with the mythic tale of the goddess Inanna and her journey to the underworld. Now, when I was doing my Sacred Feminine classes on the Gemini Rainbow Goddess, it became very clear to us that this template, the myth of Inanna as a template for engaging consciously with the Venus synodic cycle, was no longer relevant for the evolutionary expansion that we were beginning to experience through the journey. And so during the second phase of the Venus synodic cycle, which is known as the Inanna underworld phase, there is a point when Venus and Sun come together in the Inanna underworld, and that point is known as the resurrection point. It was at that time that I received this wisdom, this download from Yeshua himself regarding this new template for working with not only Venus and her synodic cycle, also Mars and as the sacred masculine in his synodic cycle. And Yeshua gave this template to me as the second coming of Christ, being the emergence of Sophia through humanity. So it's been this template that we worked with through the Gemini ascent journey and through the entire Capricorn sovereignty goddess journey for the past 19 months. And now again, as we step onto this whole new Leo divine royalty goddess, this continues to be the template that we work with. Now on this page, I give you a lot of information about the 4 phases of the Venus synodic cycle: the morning star phase, the Inanna underworld phase, the evening star phase, and the metamorphic underworld phase. We just completed on August 18th the metamorphic underworld phase of the Capricorn goddess journey. On August 19th, when Venus rose as morning star, that's the signal in the sky that we are now stepping onto a whole new Venus synodic cycle. And so we begin again up here with this first phase, the morning star phase. So that's where we are. Now, I also provide on this page a little bit of background information about what the Leo goddess represents as an archetype. I demonstrate here some traditional archetypes for the Leo goddess, and I explained that the cosmic Sophia revealed to me that the evolved archetype for the Leo goddess is the divine royalty goddess, and that is the archetype that we will be working with through the Galactic New Earth Project over this next 19 months. I talk about here how you can access the Leo goddess journey. There is a page that you can click here, which comes up, which gives you all of the information about this Leo goddess journey. And I've done something new here. So I do have it broken down into the phases, but what I've done is I've incorporated a lot more information here that we're going to be tracking through than I have done in the past. So first of all, what you need to be aware of is that Sophia revealed to me during the last part of the Galactic New Earth Project that we would be bringing on the 12 strands of DNA, and we did do all that work. And after we got well into it, she revealed to me, well, actually, there are 33 strands of DNA. And I tell the whole story about that on these pages as well. And so the information that she brought to me related to those strands of DNA was given to me through this book. Let me just stop the share for a minute so that you can see it more clearly. This book is called The Lost Zodiac, the 22 Ancient Star Signs. The author is Catherine with a C, Tennant, 2 N's. So this has become a resource for me, and it's through working with these ancient star signs and the guiding stars within those signs at these specific linear points on this timeline that we are going to be engaging. Let me get back to my slides here, or my screen again. We're going to be engaging and bringing online these subsequent strands of DNA. So in blue at each one of these events within the Venus synodic cycle, I put the name of the star sign. Now, it felt a little cumbersome to put the name of the specific star. As we do the monthly ceremonies, we will be addressing this specific star. but at least here you can see which star signs frequencies are being invoked, which are informing us in terms of bringing the next strand of DNA online. You can see here in terms of the synodic cycle what the actual event is. This was the event on August 19th that I've referred to, where Venus rose as morning star. It tells you exactly where, in terms of degree and what astrological sign that event took place. And then it tells you the strand of DNA that came online with that event. Now, normally our ceremonies do not take place until we have the first gate activation, which you can see here will be September 11th. We will be doing our ceremony the day before on September 10th. So at this gate activation, which will be a little bit different than what we've done in the past, we will look at this event on August 19th so that we can consciously engage and bring online that 13 strand of DNA while also engaging with this event, this gate activation that's going to be happening at the crown chakra, where we're bringing on the 14th strand of DNA. Now, in between each of the events of the actual synodic cycle, I've embedded even more information because we've learned that we need to broaden our scope of vision to see where these other cosmic events, when, where, how they are showing up, because they absolutely influence the experience of what's happening through the Venus synodic cycle. So for instance, our next Mercury inferior conjunction, which will be happening in September. So through the entire synodic cycle, I've put each of the Mercury inferior conjunctions, embedded those in terms of where they were happening. You know, Mercury has its own synodic cycle. I've said before that synodic cycle is an astro speak word for dance with the sun. So Venus's synodic cycle is Venus's dance with the sun. Mercury's synodic cycle is Mercury's dance with the sun. Mercury, because it's such a fast moving luminary body, has 3, sometimes 4 synodic cycles within a calendar year. And it has 4 key points, the most significant of those 4 cosmic events being the Mercury inferior conjunction. And what that means in terms of astro speak is that Mercury and the sun come together in the sky in the underworld while Mercury is retrograde. And that is the most potent alchemical time of the entire Mercury synodic cycle. And it happens smack dab in the middle of that Mercury retrograde journey that most people are familiar with, but may not really understand the depth of how they are being worked through that Mercury retrograde journey. So I've embedded that because it's really significant to us. I've also embedded, as you'll see here, and you've probably come to understand through my work, the eclipse schedule, because the eclipses work to keep us on our evolutionary pathway. And as you may recall, we have stepped onto a whole new evolutionary pathway, which is that Aries Libra path of conscious equal partnership. And we are still getting ready in October to complete the final evolutionary impulse that is aligning us with that Scorpio Taurus or Taurus Scorpio path, that path of intensity where we are engaging our own Kundalini energy. So you'll see that within the actual cosmic events schedule of this Venus synodic cycle, I have embedded those Mercury inferior conjunction events as well as the solar and lunar eclipse events. So there is a lot of information here, and it's all organized by each of the 4 phases of the Venus synodic cycle. So you can even print this off and post it, and or update your calendar with these events so that you know what's happening and can, in your own way, consciously engage with these events that are happening in the sky. So that's this piece here. The other piece that I really want to speak to, which I'm not sure everybody is clear on, is I have shifted my work with the Galactic New Earth Project from the YouTube platform to the Patreon platform. Now, let me just show you that here while I'm speaking to it. This is my Patreon platform, and you can become a patron at 2 specific levels. If you become a patron at the $11 a month level, you get access to all of those really juicy video journals that I do around the cosmic events within the month and the monthly overview as well. It's at the $22 a month level where you get to also, in addition to everything that's available through that first tier, you get to have access to all of the replays of all of the ceremonies that we are doing through the Galactic New Earth Project. Now, this third tier is a tier that is by private invitation only, and I'll speak to that in a minute. You may be interested in this tier. At the very least, you may want to, at least in the privacy of your own home, engage with this Galactic New Earth Project by going through the replays of all of the ceremonies that we're doing. So that's kind of what this is speaking to here. So all of that is available on, let me get to the top of this page. All of that information is there if you go to Roseville Mystery School Sacred Feminine to learn all about the Venus synodic cycle. If you're wanting to just check in on the Leo goddess journey, you can do that either on the link from that page or go directly here to the page. So now we're going to switch over here to the Galactic New Earth Project. And this primary page has been significantly updated, which is what I want to show you right now. Okay, so you get the introductory piece here where I explain about how this Galactic New Earth Project got started. I've broken it down into the phases that this project has evolved. First, we did the Venus temple activations. There's 8 of them around the planet, where we installed the rose gold Christos Sophia light codes. You can click here for more details on this page. And of course, just coming back up to the menu, that's this page here. So you want to click directly on the Galactic New Earth Project to be on the page I'm showing you now. Once you're familiar with all this information, you can go to these individual pages, but this link here takes you to that Venus temple page. The second phase of the project, as I referenced earlier, I described how all of that unfolded, was related to bringing those strands of DNA, the 3rd through 12th strands of DNA, back online. So there's a lot of information here about how that came to be. Here is the link here where you can click to get more information about the DNA activations that we did. And of course, that's the second page in the drop-down menu. Here is the big new piece that I want to bring into your awareness that's related to this whole new Leo divine royalty goddess journey. And that is the phase related to Homo luminous, the Christed race. And actually, this should probably just say Christ race, because I think if I look at the menu, that's that's my autism. Like, where am I being congruent and consistent? So anyhow, this describes, again, the unfolding of this revolution, this revelation from Sophia, how, yeah, there's the 12 strands was like great beginning work. And now we've got to really, in terms of becoming and embodying the Christed race, we need to bring on these other strands of DNA. And I tell the story about that. There's a link here again to the page that you saw over here regarding the different events in the synodic cycle. And then there's a page, click here, which I am going to show you because this is a brand new page. So under the menu up here, let me just swipe up here. This is that page there that I'm showing you. This is a whole new page. And so there's a whole lot more information about, again, how this phase of the project was revealed to me, what was revealed to me, and how through this synodic journey, what we're really doing is we are going to be creating a deeper connection with our, what Sophia is calling the awakened heart. And in the tier 1, there's all of these videos about this quantum timeline that I tapped into that was going on kind of like behind the scenes of all of these DNA activations. And what was happening is that our what I call our 3D heart field, our compassionate heart space, was being recalibrated to a higher field of frequency, a higher consciousness field, what I was calling the 5D plus divine heart. And I started calling it the awakening divine heart. And then through looking at the new moon in Leo event that happened this month, it became clear to me that that new moon event actually evolved us, birthed us into this field from being the awakening divine heart to the awakened divine heart. And so really, this whole journey is going to be about tapping into our awakened divine heart, dropping from the head into the heart, bringing the head and the heart into coherence and connecting deeper with our heart space. And as we do that, igniting and expanding the flame of our inner Christos Sophia. I heard Carol reference this to our true divine light. Beautiful explanation. I call it the sacred flame of your inner Christos Sophia. That's because I'm a Sophianic code holder, and that's my language, and it may feel a little too flowery or grandiose. Carol has this beautiful way of cutting through all of the flowery stuff. It's your true divine light. And so this is what we're going to be working with over the course of this synodic cycle. And I share here how Sekhmet even gave her clarity and validation about, the first 12 strands that we brought online was good work, but it was just one stage, and that the activations need to be continued to the 33rd strand, The 33rd strand being the frequency of Christ consciousness. And so what this galactic New Earth project will be doing over the next 19 months is bringing into this density, this 3D density, those frequencies. We are anchoring them, we are embodying them on the planet, not only for the ascension of humanity, and also for Gaia as the being that inhabits this planet, and facilitating and supporting her in her own ascension process. And so this was a very powerful message that came through from Sekhmet, where she's like, hey, great work, but you're not quite halfway there. And she tells us there is much work to do, there is much progress to be made, and so please continue on with these activations. And so what I have included on this page, which looks a little bit different than the page up here with all of the events in chronological order, is I've made these two slides, these two images, where we are activating each of those strands of DNA, and when and where. So this first slide covers the activations of the first two Leo goddess phases, which is the morning star and Inanna underworld phase. I left this event here because it's like the jumping off place. This was the work, this 12 strand of DNA coming online that we did during that immersive breath retreat that I called Conscious Equal Partnership with the Leo royalty goddess, and the women that came here for that immersive week, which was powerful, transformational work that we did. And so here we have August 19th, where the 13th strand of DNA came online. And yes, I'm aligning it with this soul star chakra, and that is when Venus rose as morning star. And so the first gate activation then happens here at the crown chakra in September, where we bring that 14th strand on. And of course, I've embedded this over the template that Yeshua gave me as the template to use for the emergence of Sophia through humanity as we're going through this ascension journey. So here's everything up through the Inanna underworld phase, which is next June, where we will have that seed point, Sun and Venus coming together in the Inanna underworld, bringing that 22nd strand of DNA online. And then this next image here shows the last two phases of the Venus synodic cycle, the evening star and the metamorphic underworld phase. So let me just pause here to say that what you're going to notice is that these images have a fundamental difference. And the fundamental difference relates to the morning star descent journey and the evening star ascent journey. The way that you see that in these images is with the descent journey, we were coming down through the crown chakra, the third eye, the throat, all the way down into that earth star chakra, which is the jumping off point, that death by intent point into the Inanna underworld. And then in this slide with the evening star phase, which is the ascent journey, then we start here at the bottom, right? This is where we would have left off up here. And now we come up with Leo rising as evening star. That's this event. And then the first gate activation happening at the root chakra, taking us all the way up through the soul star chakra. And then we are going to go back into that fourth and final phase where the sun and Venus meet again in the metamorphic underworld. And the Leo goddess gets transformed into the Pisces goddess. That's the 32nd strand of DNA. And then the completion happens. And I mean, the beauty, the exquisite beauty of this, which me and my little pea brain, egoic brain could have never seen. This is all coming straight from the cosmic Sophia, divine wisdom, is that when Venus rises as the Pisces unity consciousness goddess, that's when the 33rd strand of DNA, that frequency of Christ consciousness, will come online, and then we'll have a whole nother 19-month journey related to the Christ race, the having been reestablished, having become the new Jerusalem, and what is that Pisces journey going to look like as the new Jerusalem. So there's some really super yummy stuff coming up between now, which is August 2023, and almost 2 years from now, March 2025. So once again, I give you a link here to be able to track the events of the synodic cycle, which is this page up here. And then there's another piece that is really important as a tool for this journey. I did a guided meditation where I bring us into our heart space. I guide us through the coherence of our heart space with our mind field. I call it the brain field sometimes, but it's that lower mind field of consciousness, bringing it into coherence with our awakened divine heart field. And then I guide you through this reconnection process where we connect with the planetary earth grid through the light of Sophia and the heart of the planet, the heart center. And we bring that light of Sophia up through us and through the galactic center, which is the heart of the galaxy, and into the galactic stellar grid. So we are anchored by the light of Sophia into the planetary earth grid and the galactic stellar grid. And then we do the same kind of work with the light of Christ, where the light of Christ anchors us into that galactic stellar grid, coming through the galactic center, down through our chakras, down through the heart of Gaia, anchoring us back into the planetary earth grid. So if you're interested in working with this reconnection guided meditation, which I highly recommend you bringing into your daily spiritual practice, that is available at that first tier level. I will tell you that there are 2 postings. The first post is where I go through the whole teaching piece about all of the components that I'm going to be speaking to through the guided meditation, so that we're all on the same page and the lower mind isn't tripping us up by wondering, well, what does she mean when she says that kind of a thing? Now, unfortunately, because I am not a tech guru, the recording of the guided meditation was just not good. So there is a second post, which is just the guided meditation, and the sound quality of the guided meditation is significantly better than the first time around. I do recommend that you watch the first post to get at least the first 20 minutes, which is the teaching piece, and then you can keep going back to just the second recording, which is solely the guided meditation. So that's there as well. So going back to the Galactic New Earth Project page, where I've already shown you, and I don't want to go back through this too quickly so that it doesn't make you dizzy. That's everything here about the Homo luminous Christ race and how that is the piece, the third phase of this galactic New Earth project, and how it's enmeshed with this Leo goddess, divine royalty goddess journey. So let's speak to now these live monthly ceremonies, which brings us back. I'm going to flip over here to this third tier of membership, which I already explained is by invitation only. So in order to participate in the live ceremonies, you have to have a vibrational set point that has already been through the entire 3rd through 12 strands of DNA activations and the embodiment of those frequencies, because each strand of DNA is at a higher frequency. So the 12th strand of DNA is at a significantly higher vibrational set point than the 3rd strand of DNA. So you've got to allow your physical body the space to calibrate itself to each of those frequencies as you're bringing those strands of DNA back online. And you must be at that higher vibrational set point to participate in the Galactic New Earth Project. Now, you can always just participate through the replays, but if your soul mission feels really aligned to this work, and if your heart is saying, whoosh, this is where I need to be, this is the next step for me, then I was very concerned about the fact that the people that hadn't been working with the Galactic New Earth Project up to that point could possibly be left behind. And so Sophia, understanding my concern, understanding that this is a humanitarian project as well as a planetary project, inspired me to create this quantum embodiment opportunity. And this quantum embodiment opportunity is known as expansion of the multidimensional self. Now, this is a program where you can work with me personally, one-on-one, to go through these activations and embody the frequencies of these strands of DNA. Now, what's interesting here, and let me just click here, this link takes you to a whole new page where you can get more information on this program, which I'm going to show you here, expansion of the multidimensional self. I was concerned about the linear timing, because if you've listened to any of my other video blogs, you know that we work in the quantum field in the eternal now space. And so Sophia made it clear to me that this could be like a dual program participation kind of a thing. So this page here, expansion of the multidimensional self, gives you, all of the information about this program and what it involves. And what Sophia said to me is, once they've embodied the 5th strand of DNA, right? So that's a 5D frequency. Then they can be invited to participate in the Galactic New Earth Project and to be a part of those ceremonies. So if you start out at the $22 tier 2 level as a patron, and you decide to do this quantum embodiment program with me, then once you get through the 5th strand of DNA activation, you will be invited to join the Galactic community to participate in the Galactic New Earth journey. And at that point, you would upgrade your membership here to be able to participate. Now, there are a whole lot more benefits to participating in the Galactic New Earth project that I'm not prepared to speak to now, because I don't want them to be like a carrot on a stick. I really want people who know and feel that this work resonates with their soul mission, with their calling, to hear the yes in their heart, to make this kind of a commitment to participate and to dedicate themselves to this path without, the bells and whistles. But I assure you, there is a lot more going on at this level than the live ceremonies that you will see through the replays. So I just want to bring that to your awareness. So somehow I'm not sure why this page isn't fully loading. There's a big gap right there. Hold on a second. Oh, there it is. This is the video that I did on seeding the New Jerusalem. This is a really significant video that you may want to look at, because we didn't know, or I didn't know. Sophia gives me this stuff in bite-sized chunks. I didn't know at the time of recording this video back in January that this was really going to be like the theme for the Venus Synodic cycle, 2 cycles down the road, the Pisces Unity Consciousness Goddess journey. So anyhow, moving down this page, it gives you all the information about what this program includes. I do have payment plans available and how you can make those payments. So there's a lot of information here. I just want to continue down the primary Galactic New Earth Project page, that below this quantum embodiment opportunity, it does refer you back to the previous ceremonies that are still out there on YouTube under my Galactic New Earth Project playlist. So if you're not sure yet whether or not this resonates with you, I invite you, go out to my YouTube channel, the Rosewheel Mystery School. If you click on this link, it takes you there. So I'll show you that real quick so you'll know what it looks like. Oh, I'm sorry about the delay with my computer. It's coming. It's coming. Here we go. This is the playlist. It takes you directly to the playlist. Let me just say that. And here are all of the videos. And so you just want to start at the top and go through them synchronous. What is the word? One after the other. So this takes you to the very beginning of the project, where you can go through each ceremony where we're installing the Christos Sophia light codes at each one of the temples. And it continues through there, where we finally get to where we have the resurrection ceremony, where we bring that 3rd strand of DNA online. So my recommendation is, if you're not sure if this is the work for you, if you're not sure if this is what you've been looking for to take you to the next level, go through each one of these videos one after another, so that you can be brought along through the unfolding process. Obviously, this is all happening in the eternal now. You can watch them at any point and in any order, but for the lower mind to recognize how this project was unfolding and to have the experience of that unfoldment, I think is a critical component to being able to embody this work. So I invite you to that. And all of that out there is still there, will stay there. It's all free. I'm talking hours and hours and hours of sacred work that is available to humanity on my YouTube channel through that Galactic New Earth Project playlist. So that was a quickie overview of all of the updates, all of the new information to the website related to the Leo Goddess Journey, related to the Galactic New Earth Project. I hope that you will go out there and dive into it for yourself. I thank you for sitting with me through this entire presentation to get this update. And I just want to say, you know, if this work in any way resonates with you, we do invite you to become a patron. I'm so appreciative of my patrons. And let me just say here, I am aware that other YouTubers who have Patreon accounts put a list of their patrons at the end of their videos. And I thought, ooh, I should do that for my patrons too. And so before I was going to do that, I was going to ask permission, which I did do. And one of my patrons wrote me back and said, you know, I'm not really comfortable having my name put out that way. And really, why do we have to do what everybody else is doing? And I thought, you know, that's a good point. Just because everybody else is scrolling their patrons and giving them the pat on the back, we don't have to do that here. I hope that my patrons feel very appreciated by me. I let them know through each video journal that I put out how much I deeply appreciate their commitment to this sacred work. And I hope that you will join us, become a member of this tribe, and join us as we continue down this ascension path and working through this Galactic New Earth Project. So thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye-bye.